All right, new this morning, the voting technology company Smartmatic is accusing executives at the pro-Trump network One America News of, quote, engaging in criminal activities while promoting lies about the 2020 election. Court filings suggest the president of the network sent an email to former Trump campaign lawyer Sidney Powell purportedly containing the passwords of Smartmatic employees. CNN's Marshall Cohen, part of the team that broke this story. Marshall, what have you learned here?
Good morning, John. This is a pretty wild story indeed. So according to court filings, after the 2020 election, the president of OAN, Charles Herring, sent a spreadsheet to former Trump lawyer Sidney Powell, claiming to contain passwords of Smartmatic employees. This came at a time when OAN and Powell were promoting those baseless conspiracy theories that Smartmatic had rigged the 2020 election. Now, the details about this spreadsheet have not been made public before. We pieced together the story from 3 different court cases stemming from the 2020 election. In one of those cases, Smartmatic is suing OAN for defamation, and in a recent filing, Smartmatic referenced the email between Herring and Powell. It's unclear how Herring got that spreadsheet or if the passwords were real. But Smartmatic says this all means that OAN executives may have engaged, quote, in criminal activities because they appear to have violated state and federal laws regarding data privacy. Now, John, OAN denies wrongdoing. I want to be very clear about that. Charles Babcock, an attorney for the network, told CNN in a statement that this, quote, vague accusation is a clumsy attempt to smear OAN and to divert attention away from Smartmatic's own misconduct. Now, that email was sent in January 2021, just one day after the voting systems in Coffee County, Georgia, were breached by some of Sidney Powell's associates. They were looking for evidence that would prove their fraud claims, and Powell has pleaded guilty to state charges in Georgia stemming from that breach. John.
So, Marshall, Smartmatic's got a lot of legal irons in the fire here. What else is cooking?
It's bigger than OAN. They have targeted a wide swath of the right-wing figures that basically turned on a fire hose of disinformation after 2020. You can see the list here. Newsmax, Fox News, Sidney Powell, Mike Lindell, the MyPillow CEO. And they got a big boost last week, too, John, when a state judge in New York City ruled that they can expand their Fox News case to not only go after Fox News, but also Fox Corporation, the parent company. That could really ratchet up the pressure for the Murdochs as Smartmatic continues to try to hold them accountable for this avalanche of 2020 disinformation. John?
Marshall Cohen, terrific reporting. Great to see you.
CNN's learning that the president of the far-right network, One America News, that's OAN, that a lot of people know it by, sent an explosive email to the Trump campaign lawyer, Sidney Powell, with a spreadsheet claiming to have the contain the passwords of employees from the voting technology company Smartmatic. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Is this criminal, first of all? And second of all, what could happen in this case?
Yeah, well, we don't know yet if it's criminal.
Okay.
The details are a little bit murky. The court hasn't really noted who was actually emailing those things. However, we do know that the time frame is concurrent with, remember, Sidney Powell. Obviously, we all know her because she recently pleaded guilty to Fani Willis's RICO claims. She was really the architect of the Coffee County voting machine breach, which had to do with, similar allegations that she was sort of spewing about Dominion and Smartmatic, their machines being, somehow faulty or turning Biden votes to Trump votes to Biden,
votes, yeah.
rather. And so it all sort of adds up when you look at those facts. Those are all circumstantial.
Sure.
We still have a lot to go on this case, but it does seem like it could be a pretty explosive finding.
We've seen what happened with Dominion. Do you see going forward that Smartmatic, that same thing may happen, where they come to an agreement, and it was a huge number that Fox News has to pay?
Yeah, look, the fact is that most cases like this do end up settling. Dominion really, it hurt Dominion when it came to the discovery process. They didn't want a lot of those sort of secretive internal emails and discovery things disclosed, and Smartmatic may feel the same way. We'll just have to wait and see.